It's January, clear skies and crispness, new beginnings, and to celebrate that global festival of oneness, Davos. Yes, Klaus Schwab is putting on his festival once again. You will owe nothing, and you will be happy. We all know Davos. We all know its Great Reset agenda. We all know its catchphrase, you'll owe nothing and be happy. Ding! But who is Klaus Schwab? What does he want? What goes on at the World Economic Forum, and should we be afraid of their evil, malicious agenda? Klaus Schwab, the ringmaster of festivities at the World Economic Forum in Davos, has been known to tell underlings that he anticipates one day receiving a Nobel Peace Prize. Probably get a Nobel Peace Prize one day, don't you reckon? No. Schwab's greatest accomplishment is decidedly entrepreneurial. He has developed the forum from an earnest meeting of policy wonks into a glittering assembly of the world's richest people. That's pretty good, isn't it? To sort of start something, and then before you know it, Obama, Fauci, Bill Gates, Elon, I think all of like the top bods all show up. So what's going on there? He's achieved this by ingratiating himself with those who wield power, and especially the billionaire class, a tribe known as Davos Man. Schwab has constructed a refuge for the outlandishly wealthy, an exclusive zone where they are free to pursue deals and sundry shenanigans while enjoying the cover of participating in a virtuous undertaking. Their mere presence in Davos at the forum signals their empathy and sensitivity. Not to me, it bloody well doesn't. Makes me think there is a global conspiracy. People that are banned from the internet now for saying stuff like, oh, there's this group of people, they're meeting up, they've got the same financial interests, they're looking to put pressure on governments to implement a set of policies that will lead to centralised power that facilitates an ongoing march towards dystopia. Makes me think, oh no, that's definitely happening. Because who are the folks showing up at this stuff, and what are they saying? Like, if you get big tech, big pharma, government all in one place, and then you look out your window or sort of watch the news, if it's not too propagandised, you start thinking, wait a minute, these people are in cahoots, I tell you. In the prevailing pantomime, Davos Man is intent on channeling his intellect and compassion towards solving the great crisis of the age. He might have retreated to his mountaintop palace in Jackson Hole, or his yacht moored off Mykonos, but he is too obsessed with rescuing the poor and sparing humanity from the ravages of climate change, so he's in Davos, paying fees reaching several hundred thousands of dollars a year for a forum membership, plus tens of thousands more per head to attend the meeting. It's a really, really expensive club, and you're not in it. For the billionaires, participation in Schwab's charade may be proffered as evidence that they adhere to the ubiquitous slogan of the forum itself, committed to improving the state of the world. If you want to improve the state of the world, don't invite the people that are most responsible for ruining the fucking thing in the first place. These are the people that are causing the bloody problem. In truth, Davos Man has pillaged the global economy, exploiting workers, plundering housing and healthcare, and dismantling government programs while transferring the bounty to his personal accounts tucked in jurisdictions beyond the reach of any pain-in-the-ass tax collector. Do you remember that we worked out a while ago, somewhat because of Julian Assange's maxim, that the function of government is to extract your money from you and give it to private interests? So it's a taxation model, and that taxation is then passed on to various private interests, which they have affiliations with through their revolving doors. If you use that little equation, you'll see how often it's helpful in understanding what's going on. Yet the fact that Schwab appears to believe in his credentials as a moral figure worthy of a Nobel speaks to his faith in the effectiveness of his creation. Like the people he gathers annually in the Alps, or at least virtually during the pandemic, Schwab is an exemplar of the force of pious words as a prophylactic against the consequences of unsavoury deeds. We're more than used to reporting on this channel, aren't we? And let me know what you think in the comments below, that the function of politics is to provide the appearance of change, the appearance of order, the appearance of caring, as opposed to actually doing stuff like that. And it seems that this is, in a sense, I don't know, the Disney world of that, the duck's eye, the bullseye, the apotheosis of the ideologies of technocratic indifference and palliation that dominate our planet right now. Like most Davos men, Schwab has mastered the art of holding two irreconcilable positions at once, unencumbered by the typical constraints of rank hypocrisy. He blithely disregards, I like blithely means like this, disregards the obvious contradictions between the pristine values he publicly champions, inclusion, equity, transparency, and the unsavoury compromises that he makes in wooing people with money and influence. Schwab's movements through the Congress Centre unfold like military exercises, a coterie of agitated minions accompanying him everywhere. On his travels, he demands the privileges of a visiting head of state, complete with welcoming delegations at the airport. I'm sorry, I'm a bit jealous of Klaus Schwab, the way he's marching around like a dignitary. Klaus Schwab, is my Nobel Prize here yet? You're not getting a Nobel Peace Prize for trying to destroy everyone's lives. What do you get them for? Peace! At the forum's headquarters in Switzerland, a tax haven. What are you there for? The Toblerones. A glass-fronted campus looking out on Lake Geneva, a hallway connecting two wings, is lined with photos of Schwab posing with world leaders. What a prat, man. When a forum employee who was late for a meeting once pulled into Schwab's spot in the parking lot, aware that the boss was overseas, he caught wind of it and insisted she be fired, relenting only after senior staff intervened to save her. Senior staff? Oh no, don't sack somebody, Klaus, for taking your parking spot. But what about my Nobel Prize? Well, that's not that peaceful. When he's dealing with someone nicking his parking spot, where's his slogan, their catchphrase down the forum? Committed to improving the state of the world. Hey! Get out of my fucking parking spot! Oh, sorry, I thought you were on holiday, and you were. Yeah, but it's still my parking spot. It should be empty. Sorry. You're fucking fired. There, the world is a little bit improved now. In the mid-90s, when the forum convened a gathering in South Africa, Schwab delivered a speech in front of Nelson Mandela at the closing plenary in which he cribbed from Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream. He said dramatically, "You're like this, Nelson. I also have a dream. Hey, get out of my fucking parking spot!" Several of us almost threw up, recalled Barbara Erskine, who then ran the forum's communications. But if Schwab is something of a ludicrous character, he is also begrudgingly admired as a savant. He has a knack, an incredible knack, to smell the next fad and jump into it, said one former colleague. Pogs! People are gonna like pogs! Drones, but just for kids, fly them around. NSYNC, gonna be big. He recognised early on that the forum had to distinguish itself from the run-of-the-mill business conferences where people sat around talking about money, in defining a high-minded mission, improving the state of the world. Hey, get out my parking spot! Schwab turned attendance into a demonstration of social concern. He's the creator of virtual signalling. He reinforced the value proposition through relentless networking, making Davos an indispensable venue for business. He enticed multinational corporations to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for the privilege of serving as strategic partners, securing access to exclusive lounges and private conference rooms inside the Congress Centre. There, executives encounter one another along with heads of state, investors and other people capable of improving the state of their balance sheets. Schwab choreographs bilateral meetings at which heads of global banks and energy companies can personally beseech presidents of countries for preferential tax treatment and access to promising oil fields. I mean, that is not improving the state of the world, is it? Like granting global banks the opportunity to pressurise heads of state and new oil fields. I thought one of the main things they're into is like climate change and that. Here, look at this. We've got to do something about climate change. Why don't you guys talk about new oil fields? Get the fuck out of my pockets! Consulting giants and software companies make plays for government contracts by speaking directly with the decision makers. Top executives can fly in and meet a dozen heads of state in the course of 4 or 5 days, sitting across tables in soundproof rooms beyond the purview of securities, regulators, journalists, and other hindrances. Despite the forum's status as a not-for-profit organisation, take profit out of it. How long do you think so? One thing we're going to have to not do is make profit. Wait, where are you all going? Where are you going? You can have my parking space. Schwab and his wife Hilde Schwab, the organisation's co-founder, have adeptly positioned themselves to benefit from the gusher of money moving through. This is not for profit. They're actually drowning in money. The forum budget covers his globe-trotting and the catering and security services at his palatial home in the Colony neighbourhood of Geneva, the Beverly Hills of Switzerland, where Schwab frequently hosts extravagant dinners. Over the years, the forum has spent almost 70 million Swiss francs, nearly $80 million, to purchase land in the area. I will own something and be happy. including 2 parcels bridging Schwab's home and the Forum headquarters. Even in the 1990s, when the Forum employed only a few dozen staff, Schwab's salary was tied to the pay for the Secretary General of the United Nations, supplying him roughly $400,000 a year. We had a few people. I should probably earn the same amount as the Secretary General of the United Nations. But Schwab was not satisfied by ordinary wealth. He entrusted his nephew, Hans Schwab, with the construction of a series of for-profit businesses, tapping the Forum as a venture capital fund. Schwab was cognizant that running a for-profit company on the side of a non-profit could bring unwanted scrutiny from the authorities. Well, yeah, because it's corrupt and awful. Yeah, he was so proud of his entrepreneurial exploits that he pressed Erskine, the communications chief, to write about the events business in the Forum's annual report. I shouldn't let people know about this money I'm making because it's meant to be a not-for-profit enterprise. But then again, Klaus has done so well. Tell everybody. When she balked, suggesting that this would constitute an admission that the Forum was taking liberties with its non-profit status, Schwab was not grateful for her counsel. He was furious. He sat me down and said, "Look, I want to be regarded as a businessman." According to its website, the Schwab Foundation promotes small-scale enterprises that address issues of social importance, extending the reach of clean water and electricity in the developing world and creating opportunities for women. Where the money has gone is effectively unknowable. Well, I bloody well hope it's gone that way. He weren't helping that woman who parked in his spot very much, was he? Swiss authorities require minimal disclosure, which is why he lives there and why all this stuff happens there. Well, there you go. Davos, the Great Reset, the mystery of Klaus Schwab. What do you think about it? Do you think it seems like a place where conspiracies come to live? Do you see the hubris, the reality, the truth that when all those people come together, of course they have a shared interest? I like this story because it shows us that stuff that gets called conspiracy, and you know how you've suffered for being called a conspiracy theorist, which someone in our comments once said, conspiracy theories should be known as spoiler alerts now. Why don't you hit us up with a good bit of content in the comments? When you read a story like that, you see the kind of figures that are behind these movements. Fascinating. What a terrific book. What a fantastic story. And what a great illustration of the reality of the Great Reset. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Klaus Schwab will have a fucking big house and 2 parcels of land. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please, if you enjoyed this video, have a look at this one, or indeed this one. And if you want to know what I'm up to or want to come see me live, I'm all over the UK performing. Sign up to my mailing list and I'll keep in constant communication with you. But please, don't park in my spot. Stay free.